check. Oh, there we go. Wow. Back. Wait. 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright. Bring that down. Check. Check 2. Check. Check. Why am I not loud enough? Might not have. Let's do check. 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 I'm there. Add more. Check. That's better. Alright, it's gonna be just a few more minutes. I'm waiting for my buddy. Is the audio? I think the audio levels are fine right now, right? Yeah, it looks fine. I just feel like I'm not loud enough. Is it my master? No, it's fine. Okay, yeah, so it's good. Cool. Stream. Oh, that's a delay. Check, check. Yeah, everything looks good. Okay, I can mute all my sources. And put my music back on. There we go. I need to name this. Sorry, I finally got Plex to work, so I'm just testing and fixing things here. There's the... how hard this thing's hitting the CPU. Oh, it's hitting. Okay, so I don't know what may have happened. I guess he either lost the internet or something, but not responding. Okay, so what has been going on? I'm gonna have to change the title of the stream. But no, everything so far so good. I'm running into more problems with my server now. Updating TrueNAS with Bluefin, I found an issue where my video card just stopped working, and the only solution was to literally just just recreate the VM, which I needed to do anyways because my VM was running out of space. So might actually need to modify a couple of things here. All 4 CPU cores are pegged at 100% because I'm updating my libraries in Flex with only 1.45 gigs of memory used. Yeah, I don't need that much memory here. I just realized this. Okay, so I don't really have much to think about. I was actually hoping to have the conversation, but I guess we can have just a random stream. Really don't need 8 gigs on these things. I will respect this. Restart this. But yeah, I also noticed got a new setup, a new layout, just to make things a little bit different. Oh, I did. Oh well. That's pounding CPUs. Oh, yeah, well, forgot about that. Did I stop my VM? My my, my DNS went down. Hold on. Should be working now. There we go. Didn't go down to memory. Fix that. What I want to get is break. stuff here. Oh, I cannot modify anything in this. That's the problem. Okay, so yeah. Man, I'm gonna do something because there's a neat feature here that I'm wanting to test. What? Run to specified. What? Did I? Okay, so this one I can show because this is a process that I have to go through. Let me- well, these are a few steps that I need to do. What? Where? Oh, there she was. There you go. Cool. Oh yeah. A pounding it is taking. It's encoding. Hey, it's working. Oh, it's pumping through it. Or is it just failing? Oh, it's failing. There we go. Okay, see you there. All right, so now that's finally converting. Nice. Not going as fast as I thought it would be. I think actually I go faster with the CPU. That's encoding. Let's see how hard does this thing hit. Yep, I'm making a screen. Like, wait, where is it? Where is it? I need not video camera. Video camera. I gotta figure out which ones I need to move. Okay, so 14er is honestly, and I don't want to move at any time. The database. Actually, not necessarily. Theoretically. Left here. Left here. Oh, let me do down here. Left here. There we go. There we go. That's good. Yeah, this thing's drawing power now. 168 watts now. This thing's pounding. That. Yep. Oh. Feel like I'm working out. Come on, you gotta work out those glutes. Gotta work out those scripts. I got problems. 168 watts, that's actually not that bad. Given that my tower is probably pulling that, maybe double of that right now. What am I hitting right now? Yeah. I got a lot more powerful, well, not a lot more powerful CPU, but my CPU is clocked higher. Huh. That almost not that bad. Oh, it's actually pulling up 4 gigs just by itself. Which container? Docker stack. Oh. None of them? Oh, I think Plex finished. Oh, it's VS Code. I forgot it does that. I close it. I don't know why it does that. That's something I noticed with VS Code. That for whatever reason, it just juices it. Let's refresh and see how much power it's taking. 168 still. Oh wow, I think peaked up at almost 180. You know what? I'm gonna take a look at that. Yes. Maybe it's a bug. So, finally, after an hour, he has arrived. He has arrived. Finally. Alright. Let me see if your audio's working. Hang on. Chat? Talk? Okay, so it's not coming through in. Hang on. Properties. I need to see where. Capture audio. OBS text. Yeah, actually, the camera feed looks a lot better. You need to get a key light for sure. Alright. Alright, you look like you're hacking the mainframe. Let me see if I can map your audio to a second feed. If I can map your audio to a second feed, I'm happy. Devices, voice, video. Yeah, I'm still working on like bettering like audio capture on this one. We're just using Discord now, so it's something I need to get used to. Let's see. If I do this, that does nothing. If I do this, properties, let me remove. Why is my Razer Synapse showing? What? Okay, let me see if I have to do something here. No, you're fine. You're fine. It's just I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do the audio capture. I think I'm gonna have to do it this way. Properties. Actually, I'm gonna do this audio capture. That capture input output device. Oh, no, that's not working. Wait, that's the wrong feed. Crap. I already have that one used. Voice meter banana. Okay, and now let me monitor. Filters. Audio monitor. Yeah, there we go. Hey, I can hear you now.
That's sick.
Okay. Talk.
Sound good?
Oh, you're sounding low actually. Hang on.
Really?
Yeah, no, that's me. It's me. Because
Oh.
I had your audio level low. Let me just see how it's coming on the stream.
Bro, no way in the span of 6 months. 4 months.
What happened?
You get almost close to like 7 certifications.
Bro. You gotta be like a freaking bookworm.
No way, right? 1, 2.
By the way, your
3,
video
4.
feed froze.
Really?
Yeah.
The hell?
Alright, check two.
It's still frozen?
Yeah, it is. Whoa. Okay, heck. You know what? Your audio feed sounds a lot better too on this one. There we go.
Okay, I'm good now.
Alright, let me see. might this increase your volume? Should be able to. Okay, that's fine. I think it sounds fine. The talk?
Welcome.
Yeah. Let me just add a gain to your mic.
Okay.
Wow, what a difference your mic and my mic sound.
Yeah, actually sounds really good.
Like I'm hearing the feed coming from the video, and I can tell like so different. All right, I think we're good. Okay. So let me lower my audio. Wait. This is okay. Stream. And let's lower the stream a little bit. Okay, be careful. Okay. No, I was working on my server and I finally got oh geez, I forgot to turn this off. I finally got the video transcoding to work on my container.
Really?
Yeah, I got it to work again because Bluefin on TrueNAS broke something. But I just got it to work. Yeah. And also, for whatever reason, VS Code, if you're using the remote SSH, uses 100% of your CPU. And looks like it's a common bug. Alrighty, so I think you're frozen again.
I am?
Yeah, you're just looking and like either that or you're doing a really good still frame.
I'm still frozen.
Yep. Oh, you know what? I forget.
Why am I?
No, hang on. It might be me. I forget that whenever I freeze the I full screen something, it freezes the camera. It's me. There we go. Yeah, I forgot I can't minimize your screen. I mean, I can't maximize anything. Okay, so story time. You want to go ahead and give the backstory?
Oh my gosh.
Where do I begin?
Where do I begin? That was a hectic week.
Bro. And I had like SLAs back to back.
Exactly. That one was a hectic week. I'm not gonna lie. So we're live, right?
Yeah, we're live. Okay. We're live and in person.
To give everyone a background. So it was supposed to be a normal day, a normal patch, normal patch, month.
Monthly patching, nothing
monthly
major.
Patching, nothing major. If anyone here is familiar with failover cluster, you know how it works. You have to pause it, fail the rolls over to the host you're not patching, patch that server, reboot it, and fail the rolls back over.
Just to specify, it's Hyper-V more than anything
right.
else.
Right. That's not what happened. That is not what happened.
Oh God.
Everything got pulled down.
When he meant everything, it was literally everything.
Everything. I can't speak in detail, but everything.
So
And
our main infrastructure at our office was the one that went down. That's pretty
yeah,
much all I'm gonna give because thank God we have stuff in the cloud. The majority of
right,
our stuff in the cloud.
right.
But go ahead.
And when I tell you I was up for the first 4 hours fighting for my life, I won the first few rounds. And then the last round, the round that determines, it goes to the cards, I got knocked out. But my, I would call him my friend, my mentor, woke up out his sleep and
Somebody
came
woke
in.
me up.
Well, had to wake him up like, bro, I did this much, but hey, this right here, just like this is, I opened up a new
This is
a
a
new can of
whole
worms.
different world.
Yeah, and
So
yeah.
this is where I'll take over. So Hyper-V, if you ever set up a failover cluster manager, Hyper-V has a connection where there's various connections. There's 3 of them at least. One of which is the communication between the hosts, just to kind of do its heartbeat, its cluster heartbeat. Nothing, out of the ordinary. There's another one that if you have you need to have a SAN or a NAS or whatever. We're using an iSCSI connection, and that's where our storage is, using a 10 gigabit fiber. I'm gonna do 10 gigabit. Shoot.
Of course.
And then your third connection is for the host to connect to the network. Well, one thing that I hate about Hyper-V is that natively failover sucks. When I say it sucks, it's so bad. So bad that like it just sucks. There's no beating around it. It just sucks.
Oh my
So,
god.
once the server rebooted, for whatever reason, the network configuration that was connecting to the iSCSI was just not communicating. But on top of that, the servers were set in DHCP, so it was getting a 169.254, the PIPA addresses, which didn't help because they're like, okay, so which one of these is the one it's supposed to be?
Exactly.
No documentation, a little scant, as you can say. So once we got an understanding of what was connected to where, which also, by the way, we have ubiquity switches, and our controller was down because it was on the inside of a VM.
Oh my gosh.
Thank God we have Netbox. Because Netbox was able to tell me what VLANs were connected to, kind of figure out what was what. So I'm like, hey, Jason, by the way, he's at the office. I'm not. I'm remote. Jason, start tracing these cables. And it was a spaghetti mess. Mind you, where we have pending to really redo that entire rack from top to bottom. Once it's complete, we're going to do it right. It's just that this is kind of like a piecemeal because we're under construction.
Yep.
It's always an emergency when something's temporarily set up. Never fails. So he starts tracing all the cables. I'm like, are you sure that this is right? He's like, yeah. So I trace everything, and I'm here like trying to remember what I did 6 months ago. And I'm like, all right, fine. Let's start. I'm like, I know I built this. I'm going to fix it. So I went, we started reconfiguring all the hosts and all the IP addresses. We set them on statics, and they started working. Well, at least like the host can connect to the internet. Let's just put it that way. So the next phase was, let's get the communication between the 2 hosts up, because we had one host up with everything connected, but the one that was handling the master role was the one that was dead. And I'm like, all right, Let's start seeing if the communication between the servers started working. We started going at it, and it was like there's 3 nicks on one, 5 nicks on the other, because one has like a faulty nick that we had to move over, but then it started responding, but whatever. So we did we started testing all the communications on all the nicks just to find out which one's which. Thank God PowerShell tells you all this information. Get -net adapter, my best friend. Then we started going through and configuring. We got the other host communicating with sees all the disks and everything. And we're like, perfect. Now we know that's just we need to work on this one. Replicate all the settings. And I'm like, the IP address is there. That 1.2.3.4 address, it's there. The other one has 1.2.2.2, like 1.1. What is it? 1.2. Whatever. The next IP address in the sequence, it can ping the iSCSI. But all 3 of them, they do not communicate with each other. And I'm like, what are the chances that this NIC died? So I'm like, move it. As soon as we did that, I started reconfiguring the NIC, and it was telling me, hey, we can't do this. And it just worked.
And don't forget, we forgot what we did a few months ago. Our network map out. We forgot why we had them connected to each other because we ran out of ports. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Mind you, when we got to this point, it was 3:30 or 4 a.m. And we were here just, okay, look at this cable, look at this cable, look at this cable. Once I did that NIC, and the host was able to ping the other host using the internal iSCSI network, I was like, oh, I think we're good. I reconfigured iSCSI. Immediately, everything just started turning on. And I'm like, okay, I know what I need to do. I reconfigured the network backplanes for the VMs to connect to the network, to go to their trunks. Restarted the domain controllers just to make sure that they were able to work. And I'm like, okay, connect. Started connecting. Everything was looking good until the Wi-Fi wasn't working. And we're like, why? And I'm like, wait a second. Mind you, our manager was there. He's like, yeah, I'm connected on the wire. I'm fine. I'm like,
well,
are you really?
Really?
So he set himself as a static IP. That's why it worked. Oh, fine. Perfectly fine. It works. We went ahead and restarted Radius because that would do the trick. You can't authenticate. And then we checked DHCP. I'm like, I can't log into the switches. The switches are DHCP. Why can't I connect to them? And then I'm like, what are the chances? Log into DHCP. I see that the services are stuck on waiting. I'm like, okay. Restarted both of them. Everything worked. At that moment, I think Jason saw the heavens open.
Bro. Because mind you, I was excited. Bro, after 4 hours of network troubleshooting, I was like, I seen the host come back up. I was like, woosah. Then our technician that we had at the I had to go to the office. He's like, hey, I see it's back up, but
I'm going home.
The Wi-Fi is not working. I'm like, no. First he was like, yeah, I'm going home. I see it's back up. I'm going home. Then he's like, hold on, let me just check. He's like, the Wi-Fi is not working. So I'm like, I asked him, hey, do you know how to check the VMs to see if they're up? The screenshot he sent me just made me just like, oh my gosh. I have to wake him up.
And you drove to the office fast.
Yeah, I got there fast.
I don't even want to know how fast you went. I don't even want to know. What the heck is going on?
The faster you get there, the faster it gets fixed.
Yeah. I don't even want to know how fast you went. So
1 in
After
the morning on a weekday.
the
Do you know how empty the highways are?
traffic is clean.
Clean.
Clean. Hold on. My password. Hold on. My for whatever reason, one of my things here in my house is not working. Where's Bitwarden?
You use Bitwarden.
Oh, I know what happened. Turn this off in one browser, turns it off in all of them. That's stupid. Okay. So, the way we ended that was what, 5 a.m.? We were just logging out for the day?
And still had to come log in. What? three 3 hours later?
3 hours later.
3 hours later.
Man, I was like half not functioning. I don't even know how I actually got, like, I woke up. Actually, no,
Bro.
mind you, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I was up till like 6 or something like that.
Me too. Felt like a zombie. Well, all four of us were zombies that morning.
So once we got that up and running, we were like, all right, fine. I couldn't go to sleep. For whatever reason, I couldn't go to sleep. And I was like, all right, fine, whatever. I tried to like to go back to sleep. I ended up going to sleep like around 6:30 ish, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like 6:30, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, finally. Like, I guess the adrenaline rush from like fixing it.
Right.
Mind you, you called me at what, 1:30?
Yeah, and that's my fault on my end because I should have called earlier.
I actually told you, I'm like, you should probably go into the office. This was like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, but I was like, it's fine.
You were filled with
Yeah,
determination.
right,
Doot-doot-doot.
right. Never again.
That's why I said, I'm
Never.
like, you should probably go to the office.
Because remember, it happened to us before. Well, not really.
Well, yeah, it happened to
It
us
could.
before, but it was a completely different scenario.
Different. Yeah, it's like,
Completely.
hmm not even close.
Yeah. So here's another little fun fact. That whole thing should have never happened.
True.
And the
True.
only reason, why is my thermostat not showing up?
Which is why you have ICR, right? Incident response plan.
Mm-hmm. This is so weird that this thing is not. Sorry, my thermostat for some reason has just decided to not show up for no reason. Connect to it. Because Wi-Fi is fine. I turned it on. All right, so I called this issue. What,
You did.
July?
Yeah, because that's when we wanted to go to VMware.
Yeah. When I'm like, okay, we need
Yeah.
to set up a plan for VMware.
Because I forgot what even happened, but that server
The NIC
crashed on us.
died.
So we were like,
Actually, that was in March. That was in March.
it it was it
It was in
was
March.
you know how I know I remember because we were
Cleaning out
doing
the
this with our
servers.
management. That and we didn't have management.
That's true.
That's how I remember.
Yeah, I was the management. Look at me. Look at me.
Seriously.
I'm the management now.
Oh my
But
god.
I kind of saw that this was going to be a problem moving forward, and I'm like, okay, we need to figure out. So I talked to like the COO, and I told him we need to get hardware. He's like, yeah, but we need to wait for the latest version of VMware. I'm like, cool. I'll let you know when that happens. Not fun. That's the irony of it. Literally a week after that, they announced VMware 8.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool. What hardware do we need? And then at that moment, I just couldn't. I ended up getting shifted to a different department.
Seriously, no, that's so true. Like a month later, we had a
A shift.
goodbye party. Seriously, goodbye party. We were just like, damn. Okay.
So yeah, um, I just like the part that you're telling me the other day. We were talking about this. Like, you got to see me in action.
Hmm.
You got to see me go through thought processes, and I kind of want to see what was your perspective, because you didn't see me. You haven't seen me go through like a critical scenario troubleshooting.
Right.
So
Cause,
I want to know your we talked about it briefly, so I want to kind of have it as a topic
right.
on stream.
Cause I've worked with a lot of knowledgeable people. Um, I've seen them do a lot of, you know, not just troubleshooting, but different projects, different tasks. I was able to learn from, not many, but a good amount of people. But when it came to a crisis at hand and it has to get fixed now, like something critical, like not even just like, oh, you know how you have level 1 through 5,
Or the
depending
P
on how to,
ones, yeah, the P one
yeah,
five,
right.
yeah, the incident
Yeah,
responses.
yeah, this is critical, like all hands on deck. I've seen a lot of one of the a lot of people, knowledgeable people, just fold under pressure simply because pressure gets to them.
Yeah,
Not saying no one's dumb or they
no,
can't do the
it
job. It's just
literally,
that.
I will tell you from experience.
uh
This, and I've learned how to keep my cool under pressure over
Right,
just because I've literally had like 6 or 7 of them in my 15-year career
right,
where I've had literally everything down, and I have people breathing down my necks, and I'm like, like you at that moment you start having a deer in the headlights moment, but
right,
you end up learning how to not only build a thick skin, but know how to just keep your cool under that, because you realize if you panic, you mess up one command, it
right.
gets worse. So
Seriously, so it's seriously, so it's basically like you watch how different people troubleshoot. You watch some people fold. You watch some people just they fix what they need to fix. Or sometimes it's just luck. Things come back up after a reboot. But bro, for in that case, nothing was working. No, bro, because I tried it all. So I was able to say, listen, I got this backup, I got this backup, but things are still down. And to watch you just troubleshoot and just think on the spot, bro,
it
that
helps.
was that was that was amazing to watch because I watched you go through every troubleshooting method,
It
steps
helps.
I steps yeah steps I even forgot. Like I was like, oh yeah, duh. But bro, watching you do that, I was like, dang, it's like a it's like a magician at work because I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people. Not saying there's not other people that would have figured it out, but in the time span that you figure it out, and I never seen you work like that. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
and I never been around anyone that worked that. How can I say not strategically, but that worked that
methodical.
Yeah, and proficient, I was like, oh yeah, now I'm picking your brain more than I usually do on a daily
Yes, I
basis
have noticed that.
because sometimes I don't even need help. I just be want to ask a question like, hey, what would you do in this scenario? Simply because certain you can teach someone networking, but you can't teach them critical thinking. I mean, you
You
can help
can
them
you can
develop critical
teach
critical.
you can teach critical thinking. The person has to be willing to learn it.
Exactly. You can point them in the right direction on building that skill, but it's all about wanting to build that skill.
Yeah, 100%.
I can't make you want to learn um
Kubernetes.
these steps. Exactly. So watching it, I was like, don't worry about it. Watch this seriously because
Y-
it's nothing but motivation.
Yeah,
Honestly, like we should. I feel like any IT team should learn from each other. Not all of us are gonna be a master at this. Everyone on the IT team should know each other's job or know it to an extent just in case someone's not here one day. Just like, for example, perfect example, that night, I was able to troubleshoot the network to a certain extent. Then I can tell you, hey, this is what I did. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. I need your help now. Rather than someone, oh, hey, it's down. What did you do? Nothing. That's why I'm calling you. It's like, oh, like, bro, you don't even have the drive to at least try or learn.
I love the part where like, hey, I can't RDP. All right, give me a minute. Okay, I'm
Like, oh yeah,
RDP.
bro, they were panicking. They're like, I'm like, I had to tell the other guy, I'm like, bro, trust me, he's just gonna turn off in LA. Like, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I said either he's gonna do it, he's gonna ask one of us to do it. It's not that serious. Because he was
I,
like, how's he gonna? He's like, are we gonna have to do it? I'm like, bro, no, he's just gonna turn off in LA. Like, it's not that serious. Either he's gonna ask us to do it, or he's gonna do it. And
yeah.
what did you say? You just said,
No, I'm like,
hold on,
oh,
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
turn
hold
off
on.
in LA.
I'm like, oh, yeah, hold on. I see RDP. Okay, hold on. I communications there, but it's not allowing me. I like, oh, give me a second. Literally, you know what I did there? Enter PS session.
Exactly.
Enter PS session. Found the registry key they had to turn off. Went ahead did
Okay.
that, and then after that, RDP. How long it took me? 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
And I'm like, all right, I'm in. All right, I'm RDP'd into the system. I'm here. I'm going in, and I'm just like, all you hear is my noise gate's dropping. Hold on, still dropping it. Damn it. Never mind. You can't hear it. All you hear is just me just typing away, and
Seriously.
it's just going
That's
out the PowerShell to PowerShell to PowerShell, just going through things, and I'm like, okay, I know where to kind of circumvent what the issue is. I have to go through it, just check things.
seriously, and that's where it kind of got difficult, which is why I decided to go to the office because when you're working with someone that's I can say not experienced in issues like that, where a network goes down and the proper troubleshooting methods, it's kind of hard because I'm working with the technician sitting there, and you can tell them to do the basic things like you know um the cable. I'm checking the cables and etc. But when it gets to checking the status of the network interfaces, and then
There's so
just
many little things
so many
that
little things you could check for, and it's just like the person's like, "Oh, how do I do that?" Or you're limited if you're remote. So I'm like, let me just go to the office.
yeah.
Let me just go.
And when I had the thing is that, and we had this conversation where
Mhm.
if I was there, the what
It would have been up
helps
faster.
it what helped me, what really did help me, was the fact that I was the one that built it. So you're
Hmm.
talking to the guy that actually had his hands dirty, built the
Right.
entire thing, and got like it was been running for what, 3 years, 3.5 years already,
Remember, we just ripped it down and rebuilt it
and
a few months.
we ripped it down
Few
and we
more.
brought it
Yeah, and
up,
rebuilt it. Few
and we're
what?
like, okay, we
uh,
need to figure out. And the thing is that we ripped it down and brought it back up because, well, one, the office moved, so I know it was rebuilt and torn down, and then we did it again once we redid the entire network.
Yep, when we got the new firewall.
Yeah, and then we're like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and just, once we
Right.
did that, like, obviously it gave you much more of an insight, but you didn't have the level of insight as building it. which is
Yeah.
where the benefit of going in and building this stuff. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about the last time. This is why you home lab.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
This is why you home lab.
If
Hey guys,
if
hi
anyone is
Ave and hi Ding. We got two new visitors.
if
Welcome,
anyone
welcome.
is in that situation and you don't have the urge to go home and home lab, or at least to research the things you didn't understand in that situation, bro, do you really love what you're doing?
There's a difference, and I
It's like
get
what?
it, and I get it. There's people that just innately understand what to do in these certain circumstances because they just read a
Mhm.
book, and then they just absorb it like that. And if they follow the book, 9 times out of 10, the book will not lie to you.
Right.
The problem is when you're in these type of critical scenarios where it's a bug or something just goes faulty, that you
Right.
don't know where to even begin, it becomes a problem, and you have to start thinking outside of the box, which has been my entire life in IT. Whereas, okay, what is it? Huh. Let's see. How would I start an internet company in the woods? I used to do some stuff with Buckeye Cable, and they had satellite dishes. Is fast cable land located? Yeah, man.
Is
Okay.
is someone asking you that question?
Yeah, somebody's asking how would they start an internet company in the woods? Okay. Yep, Starlink is what somebody asked, and I like responded, and I'm gonna 100% agree. But there actually was a company that was started. I read this article like a few months ago, where the guy got pissed off at Comcast and AT&T and opened up his own ISP, and he's gotten like 10,000 customers now.
Oh, oh
I think
my
this is like in
gosh.
Michigan or something like that.
What is his? Oh my
But
gosh.
he's grown out of like a community, and he's already like starting to expand into more of the city. But he started off with like 100 people because he got tired of Comcast and AT&T. How would you do that? It's okay. One, networking skills a la mode. You need to know some really good networking. And then the second is really just get yourself a lot of fiber. Fiber and routers. That's where you'd start. But that's way beyond my level of expertise. You're gonna need somebody that knows CCNP, CCIE, some major networking skills. Actually, I know a guy. He's pretty good. I'm gonna try to bring him to the stream
I
one
mean,
day. 20
from a
miles of
basic
thick
standpoint,
fiber optics, pretty much.
I mean, well, first you gotta develop a business plan, secure financing.
No, actually, you don't need to build financing.
No?
If you have maybe like what 5 grand, 5 grand, maybe 10 grand, buy extremely used hardware,
Right,
know how to program those freaking routers, you're good. You can kind of
right.
create your own like segment, and then
Oh, well, you'll probably need like permits and licenses. Sure. As
I
if you're building a network company, an internet ISP.
yeah, it's very possible.
Mhm.
So going back to what we were talking about, where this is home lab. This is where home lab comes in, and this is where I'm like, hey, I picked up Docker at the company that we're at right now. I picked it up. This is where I learned it, and I'm like, cool. I don't understand how it works. Let me
Right,
figure it out.
right.
When the guys at the office were teaching me, I was like, oh, well now, can I like again? This is what I was talking about. That my home server was running on Windows Server 2016 or something like that, and I'm like, I tried doing Linux. I didn't understand it at the time. Now I have a good dominance over it,
Hmm.
and I'm like, wait, so you're telling me that I can probably replace Windows with Linux, and I can run as many containers and scale up without having to have the biggest problem of when you install applications is the freaking residue of the installs. You had me there. And then that the fact that all you have to do to update is you do Docker pull. Okay, so I'm game on. Got my laptop. I put Ubuntu in there, and I started doing the Docker compose file that I have, like 400 lines or something like that. I'll tell you right now. Actually, I'm actually up. I have it up right now because I'm trying to get it to work. 427 lines right now at this moment, and I've removed about a couple hundred more lines. So my Docker compose file was at 1.500 and something. So yes, stuff that I learned at work, I mastered it here. Docker, one of those things. Containerization was one of those things. Automation, I refined it at work because out of a need. And I was like, I'm getting tired of doing this minutia stuff, like the boring stuff, over and over and over and over again. I'm tired of it. I'm gonna go ahead and just script it.
That's how you. That's how. Best way to keep yourself entertained is to keep learning new things. Can't learn if you don't try anything.
And
That's how.
go ahead.
When it comes to home labbing, the best thing to do is home lab your environment at work.
Bro, just get it and just like what can you do here that you can't do at work? Break it.
Seriously.
You can literally break it 1,000 times. Who's gonna cry? You. Nobody else depends on it. No, there's no money being made on that. You can literally just figure out how it works and how it functions and call it a day. And that's exactly what it is. And it goes to once you build it and like, okay, perfect example. The video that I made on Windows Server Core, Active Directory on Windows Server Core. I built that out of a curiosity because I wanted to do at work. And I wanted to prove a concept without having to set up a process. So guess what? I did it here in the lab. And what was it I told you? Hey, we need to build four Windows Server cores. Follow my video.
Seriously.
It worked. It was literally a guy that was like, not to knock him, but he was new in IT. He figured it out.
Figured it out. I miss him to this day.
Seriously.
To this day.
So, like, I get it. These are things that you figure out as you experiment and as you gain experience. But this whole scenario was something that I had to learn over 15 years, give or take, of figuring out how I did things right and how I did things wrong. And I literally built what you saw there was not even close to like the pinnacle of my ability. I could be better.
Oh, I know. You telling me? Oh, I know. Trust me, bro.
And it's just where I tell everybody, you're not going to be a freaking guru on day one. I don't care how much you read. I don't care how much you study. If you do not know how to put A and B together to make C, and you've actually built it multiple times, it's not going to be enough. You need to go through the process.
Bro, home labbing can be the best thing ever when it comes to just learning, even for cybersecurity. I don't know, bro. First time I home labbed, I wanted to teach myself how to mitigate a hack, basically. How to, eradicate it.
Yeah,
You
how
know
do you
what I
prevent
did?
it?
You know what I did?
What'd you do?
I had a PC. It's behind me. No, I think it's in my mom's room. I opened up port 22, 23, 3389, 443, and probably
21.
445.
445
No.
is SMB.
Yeah. Bro.
So I could name you all those ports. So you did SSH, Telnet, HTTPS, SMB, wait,
And
23,
RDP.
And RDP. I forgot it was
Yeah.
3389. I was like, I was missing one. I'm surprised you
Just
didn't
to
do.
do
I'm
it,
surprised you didn't do 21. I'm surprised you didn't do 53. I did. 53 is
bro.
DNS
hmm just to do it simply because,
because you can.
yeah, because at the end of the day, you hack, you pull it down, you destroy everything, you build another one.
Exactly.
Because people don't understand how strong home labbing can look to an employer as well. Building your portfolio, just creating a website can just
No joke.
put you ahead of the bunch.
Next interview, I'm just gonna take my laptop. They're like, oh, so how do you what? So like, what do you do? I'm like, do you mind if I pull up my laptop? And I pull up my laptop. I VPN to my house and I connect to it and I show them all my containers. This is what I do. They'd be like, thank you. You're the next CTO.
Seriously. Here's our office, here's a company car, here's a company credit card, everything.
And just like that, and like again, I'm 38. I'm not the best.
Really?
I
Thought you were
still want
28.
I wish, man. Trust me, I have already enough white hairs to pass the 28 age.
We can't see them.
Oh yeah, because there's reasons why I have a mic right here in front of my chin. Why do you think I have a hat on too? But like I'm 15 years, roughly 15 years in. I always say 15 years because I've been literally messing around with computers since I was 15.
Right.
Like I had a PC and I broke it and I installed Windows 98, Windows 3.1, and all that stuff. This was before Google was a thing, so go figure.
Right.
And it was just one thing that I loved it. So, but like professionally, I would say I've been doing about 15 years. There's things that I still don't understand, and there's still things that I want to achieve. Like AWS, one of the snowballed ideas that I have, not snowballed, but more like those flying ideas that I have in my head is Netbox. And what can you do with Netbox?
In
how,
AWS.
and how can you integrate it with AWS? Because what better tool than an IPAM that you can query using automation to give you the next available IP address of a specific subnet in your design? You can
Anyone
literally
won't
have
say
an orchestrated system in a box.
right.
And I just dominate PowerShell. So that was like my native. That's like the language I'm going to be writing it in. But I can convert it into Python. I can convert it into like what, Bash? I don't know. Does AWS CLI have Bash? I don't know. But I don't think so. But it has the AWS
No,
CLI. But you have to do it inside of Linux itself. Technically, it does.
bro.
Technically.
Netbox is a game changer. I would recommend it to anyone, even if you're just home labbing, bro. You, like,
I'm gonna make a video on Netbox.
bro, you can integrate Netbox in AWS, which you already did,
Mm-hmm.
guys. In case you didn't know, bro, he's
How did I do it?
doing,
That's a trade secret.
bro, using Netbox to track IP addresses, using the AWS environments, bro. It's amazing. You can use it to manage the IP addresses of the instances running.
Not only the part that was the draw for me when I first saw it, and then I ended up seeing the real power, was the fact that you can pinpoint the cables on the switches and on your firewall.
Yes.
And you can even like tell it, hey, this is the color that it's supposed to have.
I just found out, was it what, earlier? After we got off the call before you clocked out?
Yeah.
That you can integrate basically Netbox and AWS by like utilizing the Netbox API to automate provision of instances. Bro, I was reading it, I'm like,
That's what I was doing.
I know, I
I
was just
was showing
like,
you the script. I did it in PowerShell.
I was like,
The fact is that
bro,
this script that I'm in the middle of finalizing, which literally is I'm at the final steps, already goes in. It registers the VPCs to Netbox. It tells you, hey, this is the set the specified IP set that I want to use. We go ahead. It returns it to you in a subnet. Tells you the next available IP address, like the IP address subnet in that super subnet. Supernet, isn't it? Supernet. I don't know. I think it's Supernet. I don't remember.
did
But
you use the Netbox webhooks
yes,
to trigger the actions? Or
yes, APIs, 100%. Gets, puts, posts. Once it actually goes and builds the VPC in AWS, I go ahead and I pull that information and I hold it onto a variable. I go and I say, okay, we're gonna go ahead and create the subnet. Once it creates it, go ahead and start publishing that information into Netbox. And then I'm going to break down that subnet into those 4 subnets for the different availability zones in AWS. And as it gets created, it posts it to Netbox as it creates it. So by the time it's done, not only in Netbox do you have all the subnet IDs, you have also all the subnet breakdowns, and the primary subnet for the VPC. Then when I start creating the EC2 instances, it's going to say, hey, this is the IP address that got issued to me. Then it's in that box. Put the instance size, the disk size, the instance ID, and the name. Just like that. That part I wrote a while ago. I just literally grabbed that code and injected it into this massive script. It's like 800 lines right now. And I'm not done yet.
I seen it, so
Yeah. I'm telling you, when I do that, I'm gonna record it and send it over to the COO. He's gonna piss himself.
he's gonna cry.
Oh yeah.
Netbox is, bro. That's a network engineer's dream.
100% network engineering. 100%
Because what do we all hate?
documentation.
Documentation.
And the fact that I automated it makes it makes a cloud network architect's dream. Because all you gotta do is just set the box up once and just let it go.
Bro.
And then what you could do, and this is the part that this is like the phase 3 of the big plan that I have, is how do I keep track of all the IP addresses that change just because we need to destroy and recreate these instances.
When do you plan on doing that?
A Lambda function. The Lambda function will run every whatever, like month. Check all this, pull the information related to that account, run a quick inventory, and update. How that's gonna happen, I haven't figured it out yet. But yes, that's the phase 3. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna do it yet, but that's the plan. This is not working. Crap. Okay, I need to figure out.
How many containers do you have?
Right now, I have had to reduce it because I'm still in the middle of piecing it together. I'm at about 17 containers.
Really? Could have sworn you had more.
I did once upon a time.
Like 30, 40.
I had about 30. Actually,
the number would have went up by now.
Actually, one time I had 42.
You're crazy.
So right now I have commented about 60 lines. Not 60, like maybe 15 through 106. I'll have 70 lines of code commented out. Inside of there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 containers. And then I have another container commented out 6. And I took out a big chunk of other containers. I had like I had like 6 containers for Prometheus and Grafana that I took out. So then I need to redo those again, which I think I figured out how to do it. So I had, with everything running, I had about 42 containers. But I needed to consolidate a couple of them. Well, not consolidate, but remove a couple of them, because now with the server I have some additional functionality that I don't need to have inside of a container. I can have it inside of TrueNAS, which was one of them was Time Machine, and now it's native into TrueNAS. Don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Because I have my dynamic DNS tied to Cloudflare. I don't have to have a container managing that either. I also have. I'm actually kind of removing like servers that I built that I don't use. So I've been trimming it down a little bit. But I have Bitwarden, my proxy, Pi-hole. I might be tinkering with Athalia soon. Once I finish this up, I might actually shut down my Factorial server. I don't know about this. My recipe. I have a recipe website for like cooking recipes. That I might shut it down because nobody's using it.
What about the one for music?
Music one.
Yeah, remember?
Which one?
Did you get rid of it, or no? You never had one.
Oh, for Plex?
It was Plex. It was always Plex.
It's always Plex.
Oh.
I've always used Plex. I gotta pay for it. I wanna buy Plex, like the lifetime one's like $100.
You got money.
Well, 100, and actually they had it on sale, man. I should have jumped on it on Black Friday. They had it on sale for $80.
Bro,
Lifetime pass.
IT is like how shopping is for girls.
Oh,
That's how I treat IT.
my wife, she jokes around. She's like,
Sorry.
I can go to Target anytime and I'll be happy. I'm like, yeah, I can go to Best Buy at any time and I'll be happy.
Seriously.
So I got a question here. Do you guys do server operating systems in your home? Jason, do you do a server operating system in your home?
I have a firewall.
Okay, cool.
He has the same, by the
Yeah, I
way.
have the same one. Yeah. Where's your server? Huh? Where's your server? Okay. Yeah, you know what? There's no hard drive, so it doesn't count because there's no hard drives.
There's no hard drives at all.
So you know what operating system you're running? AirOS.
Nothing.
AirOS.
Nothing at all.
So in his case, I already told him that he needs to get Proxmox, so he can go ahead and start building out his stuff. I, on the other hand, I'm running server operating. I do have a server. I'm running TrueNAS. But inside of TrueNAS, I have a Windows server, and I also have a Linux. Well, actually, running 3 Linux servers right now.
If you didn't tell me about Proxmox, I would have had a big Rocky Linux OS on my
You should either do Rocky Linux. I'm sorry, you should do Proxmox or VMware ESXi. Those are the 2 recommendations that I have for you, man.
Right.
But honestly, I think Proxmox will be better for you, just because it's you're not used to it. You get to learn Steam.
Seriously,
VMware is like cake.
Yeah, that was VMware before.
Yeah, because you can, bro. You know what you can do? You can like spin up like 8 Kali servers, running a bunch of like connecting to like a master node. How do I find the code that grinds bitcoins? That's a very good question that I honestly have no clue.
You know who will have the answer for you?
Google.
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT knows everything.
They will have they'll give you the answer you wouldn't even find if you Googled for 3 hours.
So the way that Bitcoin works is you're not running a code. You're basically running a program that mines Bitcoin. You have to connect to a quote unquote network of Bitcoin miners where you literally sacrifice your power and your computer to make Bitcoin. Right now, it's not that profitable. It might not be worth it, but
Not at the moment.
not at the moment. But I don't know. Maybe in a couple of years, I'll probably hitting 100K. I don't know. Me personally, I don't have Bitcoin. Way too speculative, but that's not here nor there. Again, this is not financial advice. But
Do what you want. Just be safe.
yeah, honestly, make sure you have an offline Bitcoin wallet that nobody takes your Bitcoin. Because if that thing hits 100K and you have like 5 Bitcoin, you're gonna be crying. I've known people that have lost hundreds of Bitcoin on their hard drives. Hundreds.
Don't be like the guy that forgot his password. I think it was a 29 character password, and he only had a few tries. And to this day, he's still on his last try, and he's scared to try because once you forget it, there's no getting in.
Yeah.
You're done. They can't retrieve the money or anything. So not sure what happened with that. That was a few years ago. Not sure if he ever retrieved it.
That's when Bitcoin was like almost 50K, right?
I think he had what, $29 million worth of Bitcoin in that wallet.
Some stupid, ridiculous number. Nah, I hear that and I just start like I cringe. Cause it's just the what are the amount of money that's literally just done in just speculate. Like it's
Bro.
Tell me what it is. It's more. What is it? Hey, this is worth money. What is it? I can't explain it. It's just worth money. I almost jumped in on the bad way, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost did, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't. Really glad that I didn't. Alrighty, well, it is 10:50. I am tired. I'm gonna go to bed. But again,
Really? Party over?
party. I know. Yeah, this is what happens when you decide to take a nap.
Bro, I was so beat today.
Bro, I think everybody's beat today at the office. It was one of those days, literally.
You know, it's the beginning of the year, so peak season.
Yeah, this is peak IT season. Everybody wants something. That is for sure. Alrighty. Well, Jason, I will see you tomorrow. And everybody else, I will see y'all next week.
I might be joining.
We should make this a thing.
Seriously.
I think, honestly, like, if we come up with a good structure, we can, like, honestly, I notice viewership goes up. We had, like, 8 viewers at one point today.
Really?
Yeah. Trust me, numbers don't lie, man.
You guys like us now?
We're likable? What?
Wow.
We're just nerding out here.
Seriously, that's all we really do. Just get on it and just nerd
We
out.
just chat. Honestly, I think that's what I think people like the most. It's like the relational. Like, I get it. These guys are talking like the language, and we literally we're not faking it, man. This is what we live this and we love it. So
every day, every single
every
day,
day.
except weekends. Well, sometimes. if they don't get SLAs, I don't get SLAs yet. Not yet, at least.
So where do I look? So I looked at the following. Where do I go from there? Chat GPT is a chatbot launched by OpenAI. Okay, so Ave, you're gonna have to look for a Bitcoin mining
Wiki.
Bitcoin mining Jason, help me out because I just blanked out right now.
No.
You're gonna look for like a Bitcoin mining software, right? That you can register your computer to be Bitcoin mining, right?
Hold on. Let me see. What was his question? You guys know. I'll get you. Let's see. how smart this AI is.
Let me check something really quick while you're looking at that.
But if you want something that just mines Bitcoin, I mean, you can get a rig, but
You can get a computer, yeah, but you're looking for the software. The software that actually gets you the that actually
oh,
mines the Bitcoin.
so it did give me an answer. So you can use Bitcoin Core, BFG miner, CG miner. So everyone here, you should use Chat GPT or answer questions you would think it doesn't have the answer to. It'll answer it.
a lot of the things that you have to look for, because Bitcoin is one of those things that you can get screwed over
Mm-hmm.
pretty bad if you look in the wrong
That's
place. So you gotta
yeah,
be very careful. The thing is
very
that
very careful.
there's a what? Oh, never mind. I literally opened up my YouTube and it's like Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm like, what? That's 9 months ago. I already seen that. The thing about Bitcoin is that that's a lot of scams out there, and it's just either you have to know somebody that's in Bitcoin mining, or dive into a lot of the communities to figure out what's real and what's BS, because that's the problem. There's a lot of people that are trying to jump in. Yeah. So the whole big problem is this: when you're trying to when there's a quick buck to be made, there's a scam that's ready to be had. And Bitcoin might be one of those decentralized concepts. Again, this is what it is. It's a concept where people throw, like, let's say that the world currency ends up being Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you need to have all 146 countries to literally pour their resources into one pool. One, that's not going to happen because that challenges the sovereignty of a country. That's one. Two, you do that, and then it really becomes a very sketchy place to put money because it's decentralized. Who are you going to trust that you can back the value of it? So with those two being said, it already makes it a very sketchy place to begin with. Now add all the people that are just running scams. Look, Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, ran a scam. Basically, it was a Ponzi scheme. If you like, in the core gist of it, it's a Ponzi scheme where he's like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hold your Bitcoin or your cash in our holding. And then what he did is that in that, he used it to buy the FTX Bitcoin to raise up the price. It artificially inflate the price just because he was buying it. So that inflated the price of that crypto. It inflated the price of FTX. It just created this whole artificial system, and it ended up being a chicken or egg thing. The problem is that one was chasing the other. The thing is that there was the motion had to be kept going. If that thing stopped, which it did, one of those things had to like fall apart just for this perfect rig to fall, and it fell. And guess what? He's out billions. FTX was out billions of dollars. And guess what? It's taking Binance down with it. It's taking down. It took down crypto. I think what's crypto at right now? 10K. Let me see.
Even from not just from a scanning point, if you look at, for example, a malicious standpoint, bro, when Bitcoin first became a thing, there was a company named I was just listening to this story from Darknet Diaries. A company named Mt. Gox. They handled about what 70% of Bitcoin transactions in the world, and they got hacked, and over $400 million was stolen. They had to put all the transactions on hold. People were losing their money. To the point the hackers found a way to put fake Bitcoin, to leave fake Bitcoin in the wallet. Bro,
Fake Bitcoin?
fake Bitcoin in the wallet. The way it was explained made total sense, but me trying to explain it sounds super crazy. And yes,
Wow.
they left fake Bitcoin in the wallet. To this day, the owner of that company is because their code was
1, 2, 3, 4,
super,
5.
yeah, it was super vulnerable, and the hackers were able to exploit it. So, bro,
Bro,
even with these companies that, yeah, you hear good ratings from, anything that happened. This company handled 70% of all Bitcoin transaction across the world. And now the owner, what? He was put in jail. He was put in jail, and now they said he had a wallet on his local machine that had everyone's Bitcoin on it. And after the investigation and everything, he found the laptop, and now he has $50 million unaccounted, and he doesn't have to pay anyone back. Yeah, it's a lot going on with that one. Some people see him as a thief. Some people see him as a guy that just got hacked. You just have to listen to the
yeah,
story.
it's honestly it's so you can like make a case where it's like, oh, he kind of like framed it so that he was the one that was hacked and kind of just
Right,
paid himself at the end.
right.
Yeah,
So
there's man. Okay, so here's the thing. Anything with software, unless it's like perfect, which no application is perfect, you can guarantee it's gonna either get cracked or hacked. Guarantee it. There's just no
right,
ways around it. And security, this is where you, Jason, come in. You're the guy that needs to make sure you protect the systems, not just
right,
like, oh, this is safe, this is
right.
certified fresh. No,
Exactly.
that's
Which
not
is
that's not
why,
how it works. There's
right.
and these are the fights that you and I we talk about, and like um how do we protect, like I'm telling you, I'm gonna build something and I need you to make sure that you test it and verify that it's secure.
Which is why you have to have a zero trust policy, right?
I don't
Because
trust myself to
no,
build
that's what I'm
stuff.
saying. From a security standpoint, you always gotta have a zero trust policy, even with your friend at the company, simply because you just you never know. Everyone, can feel like my code is perfect. I don't make mistakes. Then when I scan your code, I see lines of errors
Not even
and
errors, it's
vulnerabilities
just libraries that
and
are
bugs.
vulnerable.
Exactly, a whole bunch of bugs, but your code is perfect, right? Now imagine I trusted you and I didn't scan your code.
What was the one thing I told you when I was still a sysadmin? I need you to protect me from me. How can you do that? Remember we talked about that. We made that
Hmm.
conversation. How can you protect me from me?
Right,
Because I
right,
know every intricate level of the environment. I know every
right,
intricate level of the infrastructure. How
right,
can you prevent me from going rogue and literally tearing everything apart?
right. And which is what I wish everyone had that mindset, but some people don't, Some people are against security simply because it's messing up the standard of how they do things, of how they work.
That means
If
that
you would just,
one of the things that we're doing now,
right,
security first mindset before you do anything.
right,
Before you do anything in my team, first is security. Second is automation. That's the tiers
right,
that we're doing. And
listen,
if they don't, and they already know we're going to do this.
right.
You
'Cause
wonder
if
the
you,
USA Treasury is going to try to pay off the national debt through Bitcoin. That's never gonna happen.
all you have to do when it comes to source code
Give me a second.
security,
Give me a second. I'm sorry.
no, it's no
Hold on.
problem. Mm, mm. He's about to beat him up. any of you that's ever trying to get into cybersecurity, just never, ever, ever trust anyone, not even yourself, because one small thing can cause you, not just you, your company to be hacked. So,
Sorry, I'm back.
no, seriously. What I was saying was, I was telling them, don't even trust no one, not even yourself, because when it comes to source code, it's tedious because you're not the one building the source code, you know? And to deal with people that's so used to their ways, it's kind of hard to change how they, not ask them to change how they work, but you have to be in a demanding standpoint, not just tell them one time, but to pressure them in a way,
You need to be able to, um,
hold them accountable.
yeah. And that's the thing. That's the part of this. We're in a position. We're in a position that sometimes it's just we want to do things the right way, and people are
Mhm.
seeing security as this is oh they're just gonna block us from doing it the right way.
Right.
No,
Like it's an
man.
like it's an inconvenience.
Yeah.
But little do they know, if we get audited or investigated, you know, if something happens, bro, that's a fine, a hefty fine. Some fines,
Hefty, hefty,
some
hefty.
fines going to, some fines going to the hundreds of thousands. And
Dude,
so it's like,
no. One simple fine from GDPR is
oh
$10
my gosh,
million.
I know that one.
I don't want to touch that with a pole, with
Seriously.
anything.
That's why it's just nice to go through a security checklist, like access control, encryption, input, what is it? Input validation, code practicing, scanning, testing, code reviews, just and then just monitoring and testing. Once you get those and you just
Full
start monitoring and
auditing,
testing,
man. A lot of it
bro,
really is
yeah.
auditing.
Hmm.
Like, can you run against these tools and survive the gauntlet?
Exactly.
I'm
Exactly.
I'm
And,
paranoid of
and you
running
know when I
my I'm not kidding you. I'm paranoid of running my infrastructure through your process.
and you
And
know you need you seen the checklist I created. So
I
it's
helped you
like,
build
bro,
it.
exactly. So you know how hefty it can be, like, because
Yes.
at the end of the day, it's all about keeping us secure and keeping us with a work-life balance. If things break now, it's all hands on deck. Now we're up until late night, and then I'm out of a job. I'm
Exactly.
out of a job. So
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. As much as I like want to like praise and follow the rules of security, it is annoying. I'll tell you on
it
my
is.
side, it is
It is.
annoying as hell.
It is.
Because that means I'm like, man, now I have to like second guess everything that I do
And yep.
just to be able to do a certain thing. And it like I'm like, okay, I gotta oh wait, that's not secure. Oh wait, but this gives me that mentality of like I have to think in paranoia because once I give it to you and I've already gone through all my processes, at least in my side, I used to say, like I would say, I have done everything in my ability to get this to work in a secure
Exactly.
fashion. Now, if it's outside of my scope, I'm okay with it. If it's just something that I just don't understand, this is an opportunity for me to learn.
Exactly.
It's what it is. And it's just one of those things where it just do you want to work double or do you want to work smart?
And people, when it comes to security, people try to, people will, you got to be able to work with the users. You got to be able to still secure things, but still, how can I say, not allow them, but bring a good use case to the point where they can still complete their day-to-day tasks. For example, perfect example, if certain software is needed to be upgraded, if you don't have the correct the best answer would be to just upgrade it, right? But what if the code doesn't work with the new upgraded version?
100%.
So that's where it gets to the point where you're like, all right, what's the
Also,
best mitigation? And then later on in the future, things are get fixed, but we need to fix now.
that's why you need to have pipelines where you can do these
Exactly.
tests really quick.
Exactly. Without testing, you're just
Yeah, and this it's just not it's just the testing in itself is just the part where you're like, oh, that means we have to do more work. Yeah, do you want to do it right?
exactly.
Like seriously, like there's parts that I'm sometimes I listen to these people talk and I'm like, no man, you got to do it right.
Exactly. People also they'll get a temporary fix and think, okay, this is the permanent one. No, 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 no. This is just a temporary fix so you guys can work now. But later on, this is gonna be a project where we have to really mitigate this issue so it doesn't come back up. And that's where it comes with, hey, you have to probably change, how you do things on your end. And people don't like that. A lot of people are afraid of change, which is why people are afraid of security. Because with security, things
Changes.
change. Malicious
Yeah.
people come up with new ways, so we have to come up with new ways on how to stop them.
And no,
Uh,
not only that, it's just when you start. Okay, this is true when it comes to programming, and I've learned
mhm.
this like how this happens. If you tell me that my code are if you tell me that my code is vulnerable, you're attacking me because I wrote the code.
Right.
People don't like that. Oh, now you're just attacking me. No, man. Just you missed something. It's okay. You're human. No, but no, dude, chill. You need to
Exactly.
chill your ego. Yeah, I've had to deal with plenty of those conversations as well, and I'm like, because I'm writing my scripts, and I'm like, my scripts are great. They're not perfect. I know they're not
Right.
perfect, but they're great. But even then, now I'm looking and I'm like, oh my god, I could do so much better. And every day that I'm coding these scripts, I'm doing better. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, or it doesn't
Right.
mean just hey, just because you say, hey, oh, Jose, you need to change the you need to change this dependency. I'm like, why? Because like, oh, it's because this one has a vulnerability or whatever. This that. I'm like, what? I didn't know that. But it's all there. Oh, like, oh, by the way, this is not done in a secure way. I'm like, oh, I must have missed it.
And sometimes it's not even the way things are done. Yeah, your way might be fine. Nothing's come up, but sometimes it's just compliance.
That's the other thing.
It's compliance. You can be like, oh, I'm encrypted. I use encryption, and I'm like, yeah, but
Yeah, you're using
you know,
64-bit encryption. That's like broken in like
yeah,
5 seconds.
exactly. Like you're encrypted, but it needs to be asymmetric, not just symmetric, or it needs to, you need to use AES 256 or something like, you need to bump it up a little bit. It's just you're not wrong, but it can be better.
Just because it worked back in the day doesn't mean it's still secure.
Exactly,
That's the issue
exactly.
where the misunderstanding. Really, what it is a misunderstanding that security is a one and done thing. Not
Mm-mm.
not even close. All right. Well, I am getting tired. I am going to bed. We can literally talk all night.
All night,
We'll do this next week for sure.
of course.
Alrighty, guys. Have a good night.
All right, guys.